This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, and this is a review of the Undertaker Last Ride Documentary, part 4 of 5. I just finished watching it. I think Mick Foley has the best quote of the documentary. He says, quote, "I know less about him now than I did 20 years ago, and I like it that way." And yes, we all love The Undertaker, but the mystique of The Undertaker definitely disappears with these documentaries. One good thing I liked about the documentary, they showed some of the funeral parlor clips with Paul Bearer and The Undertaker. Paul Bearer was a great character, and they talk a little bit about the Kamala casket match. They show the special casket that was made for Kamala. It's too bad they wouldn't use Kamala in this, because he's lost his legs. For anyone that doesn't know, suffers from diabetes and lives in a trailer in Memphis. You could check out my full shoot interview with Kamala right here on the Hannibal TV. He's a guy I really want to interview again. It's sad that they wouldn't give him a payday by giving him a little interview for this documentary. But it was nice to see Paul Bearer. One thing in this documentary that we didn't see as much in the others is it seemed they were really trying to get Bruce Prichard over as a creative force behind The Undertaker in this documentary. Of course, Bruce Prichard is already head of creative for SmackDown, and last week he became head of creative for Raw as well. And I noticed that they used him a lot more in this, both in past clips of him directing vignettes of The Undertaker and in current footage of The Undertaker. They even showed one clip of Undertaker walking into a room with Vince McMahon, and then there's a little caption that comes up on the screen saying "Voice of Bruce Prichard." So it seems like they really want to get him over as like a creative genius. They did mention The Undertaker's StarCast appearance that he was set to do before, I think it may have been the first official AEW pay-per-view last year, before WWE tightened up his contract. I was surprised, but actually I guess I'm not that surprised, considering Bruce Prichard is good buddies with the guy that runs StarCast. But I was surprised that they actually showed the name of the convention and brought attention to it. And they brought up that Vince McMahon was upset about it and made it actually seem like AEW is considered competition to them. Obviously, they did sign up Undertaker, I guess, for the next 15 years, but I'm surprised they would give AEW the time of day in this documentary. Throughout this documentary, there's many clips of Undertaker and AJ Styles acting friendly towards each other. The next part of the documentary, the final part, I guess, is going to be all about the Boneyard match featuring The Undertaker and AJ Styles from this year's WrestleMania. Lots of joking around with Vince McMahon, too. One thing that stuck out to me about the clips of Undertaker and McMahon is just how old Vince McMahon looks. He is in his mid-70s now, but to me, he's really aged. He looks like he's really old in this. And Shawn Michaels, whatever eye issue he has, whenever I see Shawn Michaels, I think it's a lazy eye or something. It's very distracting when you're seeing him talk. I don't think he had that before. Basically, it's an end of an era. Undertaker was the last kayfabe character that they really protected in WWE, and obviously that's out of the bag with this. They went over, I guess the feature part of this documentary was the Saudi Arabia match with Undertaker and Goldberg, where both men got hurt in the match. They really emphasized that it was a quote-unquote bad match. And wrestlers aren't supposed to get hurt, but wrestlers really got hurt in this, and they were unsafe. So totally breaking the barrier that wrestling is, there's no mystique anymore. Basically, the way they presented that match was nobody was supposed to get hurt in the match, and people got hurt in the match, and it was a bad match. So I don't know if all the fans in the world knew it was a bad match. To be honest, you're pointing out that Undertaker is continuously having bad matches. The last show, Chapter 3, was all about the quote-unquote bad match that he had with teaming with Kane against Shawn Michaels and Triple H in Saudi Arabia. So I don't know. It doesn't really make me want to watch any more Undertaker matches. Watching these makes me just want to see him retired. I know he keeps wrestling because they offer him every time he wrestles in Saudi Arabia. Supposedly, he makes at least $1 million. So that's the reason why he's wrestling. He's not taking $5,000, $10,000 payoffs here or there. He's making huge money. I mean, let's just say, for instance, I think he's got 2 or 3 kids. One match in Saudi Arabia, if you're making a couple $1 million, that kid's not going to have to work again. So it's hard to turn down that type of money. So that overall, much better than the part 3. Part 3 out of the 4 I've seen so far, part 3 was the worst. Part 4 was good overall, but kind of sad to see that the mystique of the Undertaker. As I said, Mick Foley said it best. He'd like to keep it that way, keep that mystery image of the Undertaker, but it's gone. Desmond Castro says, good evening. To get into some questions, Ethan's first. Lots of comments about the backlash that happened tonight. Overall, the reports I've read, the only good match on the card was the Edge versus Orton match. Hurricane Maverick Alexander, my buddy, says, hope I'm hanging in there. I'm a little pissed off, actually, because I read a report yesterday saying the gyms are opening here in July, and now someone sent me another report saying that that's only tentative and there might be a further delay. So that pisses me off a little bit. I haven't actually got on a scale, but I'm in great cardio shape, but I've lost about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle since being out of the gym. I'm doing fight training every day, running every day, but I'm missing my gym a lot. El Wupo says, too bad no one in the wrestling business helps out Kamala. I know the Cauliflower Alley Club has helped out Kamala. I've given him payday. He does have a GoFundMe. He has a book. He does have a Pro Wrestling Tees page if people want to help out Kamala. But it's like WWE could shoot him $5,000, $10,000 and give him a part in this documentary. Kamala loves The Undertaker. So it's just too bad that for some reason, maybe they don't want to show the living conditions that Kamala is in right now, but it's too bad that they won't give him little jobs here and there. Richard Min says WWE should assist legends like superstar Billy Graham and Kamala. I agree. Watch my compilation video about superstar Billy Graham. He inspired Ric Flair, Scott Steiner, Hulk Hogan, Jesse Ventura, but Billy Graham has been thrown in the trash, thrown in the dumpster by WWE. But he's a great guy, and Billy Graham's another guy that has a GoFundMe. He's got a ton of health issues. If you want to help him out, I suggest going to his GoFundMe. And Billy Graham has always had good experiences with The Undertaker, by the way. Saudis pay big money. Someone says, Alan Kesselman says he agrees that Sami Zayn sucks. It's better that he's off TV. I guess Sami Zayn is off TV right now, allegedly by his own choice. That's why they put the Intercontinental title on AJ Styles. From all reports I've heard, including Arn Anderson, former WWE producer. They've all said Sami Zayn has a bad attitude. I've never seen anything in him. Plain looking guy, small guy, baby. He's had a fan thrown out of a WWE event for hurting his feelings, which is just pathetic. Nova Scotian boxing fan says Kamala is one of my all-time favorites. And by the way, I forgot to even mention this. I hold a victory over Kamala. I have been in the ring with Kamala, and I defeated him. But I still love him, even though we've clashed in the ring. Pedro Funk says Sami Zayn tries to get over, but it just doesn't seem to work. So it's going off to other topics in the comments, but I'd just like to say that's my review. Undertaker, Chapter 4. There's only one more against another guy I've wrestled and pinned twice when he was New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP champion AJ Styles. That's what the Chapter 5 is going to be about. Do I think Undertaker's had his last match? No. Definitely don't think so, because they could make money off of an Undertaker retirement match for one thing. So I think that they'll have at least one more Undertaker match. That's just my personal opinion of it. So I'm heading out for my run. It's a decent night out there. Looking forward to getting out and running. It was my grandmother's 94th birthday today. So sad day for me, because I haven't been able to actually see her for like 3.5 months now. And like, she has Alzheimer's and dementia. So I can only see her from outside the window, and she doesn't understand. So it's hard, but happy birthday. I love you, Grandma.